shock absorbers, isn't it? Can you imagine a vehicle without a shock absorber? In fact, you would know if you have been using a car for a while and the shock absorbers have given way, let's say. And when the shock absorbers are given way, you will really know the brunt of the ruggedness of the road, the ups and downs, the ditches and the humps. You can actually feel the impact as a passenger inside. But when the shock absorbers are there, and when they are perfectly functioning, you may go through a crest or a trough, a hump or a pothole, you wouldn't feel a difference. So it is the shock absorbers are bearing the shock. So when you go through life, which is the ups and downs, none of us can escape it. Better get that right. None of us can escape this is the reality of life, sir. You don't need Krishna to come and tell us. You don't need me to tell you. You don't need any guru to tell us. Once you go out into the world, you know for life, isn't it? There are people who are grateful to you. There are people who backstab you. We mentioned that, didn't we? That's life. So when you experience that, what is it in you that actually absorbs the shock? Since we are mentioning it, you got to examine it. In the automobile, it is the shock absorbers that take the shock. So the passenger has a comfortable ride. In fact, you can draw a parallel to a cruise liner. You know, these huge ships, mighty ships, my God. And sometimes you get to see certain documentaries of these huge cruise liners. A cruise liner, it's like a 20-story building. It's like a moving city. It can house close to 3,000-4,000 people. It's like a moving city. You have theaters, you have ballrooms, you have theme parks. You have to house 4,000 people, sir. It's a moving city. And yet, what is the size of that cruise liner compared to the size of the ocean? What is the size of the cruise liner compared to the size of the ocean? Being in a cruise liner, you wouldn't know. If you're in that ship, you wouldn't. You only might be struck. Wow, look at the size of this giant ship. Wow, you're just wonderstruck, isn't it? It's such a piece of a marvel. Mighty ships, Vaishnavi, they're the size of a matchbox. And that size of that matchbox is actually a moving city. Something which can house 4,000 people. Real luxury. So what I'm trying to say is that ship is like a matchbox open to the mighty waves. What is the size of a wave? Huge. Huh? Sometimes you see these ships going right into the sea, and then somehow they come up. I wonder how to this marvel of engineering, how are they floating? How are they able to sail through? And there are ships which are designed to handle the rough seas. In fact, people go on cruises where the sea is rough. If it's a dead sea, what maja. Ship is going through roller coaster, sir. People are having fine dining. There's not even a ripple in that wine glass. Ripple is real. You think for a while, you think you're on ground. You don't know that you are sailing actually. And the ship is going through a real roller coaster. So I've given two examples. One of the automobile, another of a ship. So are we a human being is exposed, is vulnerable to the crests and troughs, the ups and downs, the profit and loss, and the pairs of opposites of life. What is it that is taking the brunt so that you have a life of peace and happiness? Otherwise, we will be tossed like a masala dosa on a tawa. For a moment you are on this side and suddenly you will be tossed that side, this side roasted, then next turn will come, that side will be roasted. You will become appadam. Appadam you will become in life. And I tell you, how long can you take, sir? How long can you take, sir? In a day, if you have 40 experiences, 40 times you are either experiencing good or bad. So no reason you are excited, for no reason you are dejected, for no reason you go through high, for some reason you go through low. So there is all the time, it's like a, what is this? A seismic wave. When you see a seismograph, if it is straight line, we should be very happy. But the danger is when there is a activity. When there is activity happening, the bar is going very rapid activity. Our life is like a seismic activity. Up and down, up and down, up and down. For no reason fluctuated, for no reason rejected. And if you are kept calm, if you are calm for a while, something comes and disturbs you. A message comes, a call comes, somebody flings a remark, or somebody reacts nastily, or somebody sends you good wishes. Like today, I came to know one of my students is celebrating his 50th birthday. Somehow a message comes to you. So it's a pleasant occasion. I just send greetings. I'm very happy for you. Suddenly another message comes. Something not pleasant I can share. Isn't this life? Isn't this life? It is a part of life. But what I'm trying to tell you is, there is nothing called as normalcy, because 40 experiences are either up or down. There's nothing as neutral. There's no neutral thing here. So when life puts you through this cycle, isn't there a mechanism you need to know how to handle this? That you're not excited by joy, nor are you dejected by sorrow? Don't you think we should find a life where we should be in a medium, where we're not thrown up and down? And there's only that much you can take, and that's when it gets to you. You really become emotional, isn't it? You know? Even in a relationship, you can handle only that much of a person. That much nonsense you can handle, or that much good you can handle. You know, whatever you can handle, isn't that much. And beyond a point, it gets to you. It's like, come on, don't cross the line, man. I think I've had enough of it. Please, see, even the patience of the mother with the child is only to that extent. Beyond a point, you say, enough. Please don't. You have to correct the child in a different way. The tone changes, the approach changes, because that much you can handle. It gets to you, isn't it? So what you are very clear now is, there is the life, the world, and then there is the capacity. What is it in a human being that takes the shock? Precisely like the shock absorber is that gadget which takes the shock. It's not the tire, it's not the steering wheel, it's not the seats, it's not the engine, it's the shock absorber, isn't it, sir? They have a specific role. The shock absorbers have a specific role. So there is that equipment in you which plays that role. What is that equipment in you? The intellect that takes the shocks so that your mind is at ease, at rest. Just like the shock absorbers take the shock, the passenger has a beautiful, comfortable ride. Isn't it? So what he is saying is, understand that they are inevitable, understand that they are impermanent, and you learn to endure. All this is a capacity of the intellect. If you have not developed it, you will face the brunt of life.